Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV dungeon guides. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Aurum Vale. Now before we get too far into this, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if this helps you out in any way, or if you enjoy the content. Now starting off, this entire dungeon does have an overlapping theme of pretty much don't stand in the pools. So any golden pools that you see will continuously apply a damage over time debuff on you that you do not want, so make sure that you're moving out of those. In this first area there is many enemies in a very small area, and some of them do have very large patrol patterns, so it's very easy to get overwhelmed. So make sure that you're not getting too many groups at once. It's easier to go to just get the first frog and go to the left to begin with, and then pull the next two groups together with one of the patrolling squid monsters and one of the lilies of the vales. After you clear the last of these enemies out, it'll bring you to the first boss, the locksmith. Now this will introduce another mechanic that is kind of overlapping through this entire dungeon with the marble fruit. So the locksmith will apply a debuff to the entire group that once you have around 2 to 3 stacks of the debuff, it's a good time to eat the marble fruit in between his attacks. Cleanse it off. Now this will cleanse all debuffs, not just this particular one. So remember that if you end up getting hit with a different ability that you may need to remove also. So for him, he can throw gold dust at you or any other party member if you just want to move out of the circle. He'll do 100 lashings, which is a frontal untelevised AoE, so you'll want to make sure that you're taking him facing away from the party. And the gold lung is the debuff that he'll do a party-wide application. Every couple abilities that once you get 2 stacks, you'll want to just cleanse, eat the fruit and cleanse it off so that you stop taking the damage from it. The fruits do grow back, so don't worry about eating them and thinking that you have to move around. So just remain tanking by one of them so that you can eat it as soon as you need to. After the fight ends, if you have any debuffs on you, there will be multiple of the fruit that are by each of the coffer, so you can just eat one of them before moving on. The next area will have marble fruit and seedlings. The fruit will spawn into more seedlings after a couple seconds. The gold vines have a breath attack, bad breath, which will apply pretty much every debuff under the sun on you if you get hit by it, so make sure you're moving out of that. Now for the second boss, the coin counter, there are many AoEs that you will need to avoid. Don't stand on top of any of the areas that the smoke is coming out of, they push you around. He has multiple abilities that will be used on you, and then multiple ones that will be used on the rest of your party. And first, the 100-ton swipe is just a frontal cone that you'll want to move out of. He also has the glower ability, which will target all enemies in a line from one random party member, and so you'll just need to move out of it. I have the Beholder is a circular AoE that has a safe zone behind him, and then also as close to him as you can get. And then his last ability will be 100 Ton Swing, which is a 360 circle that will instantly kill you if you get hit. He will rotate between these 4 abilities repeatedly, so just dodge out of whichever ones are headed your way and you should be fine. He is stunnable, so you can stun him in the middle of any of these attacks to interrupt them. But they're all easily dodgeable, so it's not that big of a concern. The next area will have many enemies in a very small area again. These can usually all be picked up and tanked at one time, but if you feel like you've been having a rough time with taking too much damage or they're not keeping up, then you may want to pull just a few of them at once. The next area will be a large room full of morbol seedlings, morbol fruits, and a few gold vines. So you'll want to AoE pretty heavily on top of all of these to destroy the fruits before they turn into seedlings. In this room, I would recommend killing as many as possible before they transition, as they can get a little overwhelming if you let them all turn into the seedlings. This will open up the path that allows you to proceed towards the last boss. The Miser's Mistress has another mechanic similar to the first boss. This one is a barb that will apply a debuff to everyone in the party that will need to be cleansed at 2 stacks with morbol fruit. There are many more fruit in this room, so you can more frequently use the fruit to get rid of any sort of debuffs that you have. So 2 stacks is a good number to make sure that you do not use too many of the fruit, that they will not be available for when you need them. He has a ability that he will use that will spit a glob at a random party member that they will need to move out of. He also has the Bad Breath ability and Vine Probe like all of the other gold vines. The Barb Hook will put the debuff on all the party members, and then he has an ability called Sow, where he will throw out multiple morbol fruits that just need to be AoE down before they turn into the seedlings. Make sure to face him away from the team so that you're not getting Bad Breath and Vine Probe hitting multiple members of your party. And just rinse and repeat these mechanics. And he should do 2 sows that will spawn the additional adds, so just AoE them down whenever they come. Remove the burrs at 2 stacks and face them away from the party. And the fight is rather easy other than that. And that should be it for the Aurum Vale. Again, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if this helps you out, and I will catch you in the next one.